Hello and welcome to the Revenge of the Drive-In commentary track for Stuart Gordon's Re-Animator. I'm back at school now, and this is the ultimate, get motivated for the cutthroat life that is graduate school movie, you know?
Yeah. The makeup and special effects in this are just perfect.
Oh, it's great. I mean, they're not perfect, but it's amazing. No, this is, there might be more than one person because a lot of these movies... A lot of these big effects, practical effects horror movies in the 80s and stuff were really collaborative. Famously, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the scene where Freddy dies in that had 6 or 7 different special effects artists, big names as far as horror special effects artists go, working on that. This, I believe, is John Carl Buechler's definitely working on this, and I think maybe Screaming Mad George also. I could be wrong about him. I know he worked on From Beyond. Screaming Mad George specializes in bug creatures and stuff like that, and there's not really that going on here. But John Carl Buechler specializes in just gruesome death, I think. Also little puppet creatures, because he did the Ghoulies.
Oh, of Ghoulies fame, yes. He apparently, at the first screening, he was sitting next to his wife, and after that giving head scene, she got up and said, "I can't believe you've done that." And she just
probably
and
during
she left, and she never came home apparently. So,
wow,
yeah,
that's incredible. That also, I mean, if you're David Gale, if you're that actor. I can't imagine you didn't mention that scene was in the movie.
I know, right? I know.
You know? Like you'd think, because I don't know David Gale's background, but, he's not like a Linnea Quigley who, they're always in these, crazy, stupid movies or something. Like he probably did, a lot of normal stuff, and you'd think he'd be, one night at dinner, hey... honey, this movie I'm making is a little bit different from everything else that I've done. There's this scene is in it. You'd think you just wouldn't shut up about it because it would just be amazing. And I understand if it's a little uncomfortable, especially talking to the wife. But yeah, I can't imagine that didn't come up.
Yeah, it's surprising actually. Maybe he just didn't want to terrify his wife or something.
But then you think he would have the good sense to say, "Hey, honey, maybe don't see this movie. You wouldn't enjoy it."
Yeah. Don't come with me to the screening.
I like how authentic these scenes like this actually feel, because we eventually get comical bloodletting, and I like scenes like this feel very just grounded
and disgusting,
procedural. And disgusting, yeah. But, I mean, it's disgusting later, but it's disgusting in, a funny way or, an over-the-top way. There's nothing over-the-top about this. It's just nasty.
And again, this is where the makeup really shines in the movie.
Sure.
This looks like a real scalp that somebody's pulling off somebody. As somebody who has seen lots of descalped people in morgues, I can confirm that this does look real.
All right.
I used to work with a girl who was going to Queens for med school, and I'd said to her, do you work around lots of dead bodies? And she goes, "Yeah, we always take pictures of their penises when they're laying there." And I'm like, what? Then I thought, the next generation of doctors, Patrick,
that person's on a watch list somewhere.
They are, right? Well, and it was a woman.
I was going to make a joke because you said they were going to Queens, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course they've seen a lot of dead people. They live in Northern Ireland. It's a terrorist joke. Queen's University, Belfast.
Stupid. You're an idiot. I love whenever that liquid is on screen. It's just so interesting to watch.
Exactly, I agree. Looks delicious.
Oh, it looks like a lemon lime Gatorade.
Yeah, you're right. I should be drinking lemon lime Gatorade or Mountain Dew. Something kind of greenish to celebrate today. But instead I'm just drinking an iron brew, which, to be fair, probably tastes a little bit like glow stick liquid.
I bet.
It's kind of disgusting.
I bet it does.
Since audition, you had really gotten into Japanese stuff, and I think I said, oh, God, please tell me that doesn't mean you're into anime.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I've only seen 2 what are they called?
Shows?
Yeah, we could call that one.
Yeah, but one of them you said was like 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, it's the entirety.
Are
of
they
Naruto.
like 2-minute episodes?
Yeah, they're great. No, they're like 22-minute episodes.
How do you watch 1,000 of them? I can't even imagine that.
About 5 a day since September.
Oh my god! You work more than one job?
I do, yeah.
God, no wonder you want to work with dead people. That's a relief compared to your life of anime.
No, it's great. And then I'm telling you, Patrick, there's a great show, Attack on Titan. You gotta watch an episode, at least the first episode, and then you'll want to watch the second episode. It's a great television show.
I refuse. No, and I guess what I understand the confusion too, because
by the way.
Oh yeah, of course. I understand the confusion because I have said, as an adult, I have no interest in watching anything that's animated, which is, I stand by that. But that having been said, so there's two barriers from getting me to watch Attack on Titans. There's A, perverts, and there's B, I'm an adult.
Okay, well, A doesn't really apply because they don't really sexualize anybody.
That's what you say.
No, seriously.
That's
seriously.
what you say.
Seriously. I've seen every episode that's out right now.
And that's the part where I fully admit that this is a largely flawed stance that I have, but I do know there's enough perverted shit out there in anime. I understand It's not all perverts, but I understand listen, let's put it this way. Not all anime is for perverts, but all perverts are into anime.
Listen, Patrick.
Think about it.
That's really funny. But I also want to point
Anthony
out...
Weiner, big-time anime guy, guarantee it.
Listen, I want to point out, buddy, you're talking about how perverted anime is, or like how perverts are into anime, but you wanted to do...
The latter is more true than the former.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But you wanted to do a commentary track on
I know.
Re-Animator.
Listen, there's inconsistencies in my own philosophy. I'm an unreliable narrator, baby. I can watch something.
Or is it just
where a severed head
make you uncomfortable? Whereas
I can watch something where a severed head gives head and say this film is not made for perverts.
Yeah, but if an animated
this is
woman
made for
fully
fans
clothed,
of true cinema.
Yeah, but if an animated woman fully clothed fights these giant people-like creatures, you're like, it's for perverts. It's so perverted.
Yeah, it is. Well, that actually brings up something I want to talk about though with this movie specifically. But Re-Animator, it's a Charles Band film. I didn't see his name in the credits. I know Richard Band does the score, so Richard Band is the guy ripping off Bernard Herrmann. Richard Band's his brother. Charles Band, I think he was an uncredited producer on a bunch of movies. I think Ghoulies. I think he was credited on Ghoulies, but a lot of movies. The average Charles Band film is utter trash. I don't deny that.
Yeah, okay.
It is garbage.
Yeah.
And yet a movie like this, which features a lot of the things that are in the movies that are terrible, is genuinely good. How does that happen? And how one step further, how does a movie like this kind of go on to receive critical acclaim when it's just horrifyingly gory and over the top? Like, how do a lot of critics view this as like a classic film? I'm not saying they view it as like the equivalent of Casablanca, but this is a respected film.
Well, you know what? I think
it's kind of crazy when you think about it because it has so much stuff that someone like a snobby critic would hate.